Hello, welcome back. In this session, I am going to discuss about the IC engine classification and terminology. Internal combustion engine classification and terminology. For that, I will discuss about the first definition of IC engine. Then I will take the classification of IC engine. Terminology concerned to the IC engine I will discuss. First, we will take definition and later we will go for the classification of the IC engine. Internal combustion engine, IC engine, an engine in which combustion of fuel takes place inside the engine cylinder is called internal combustion engine. These engines are generally called as IC engines. Okay, here this is the one of the example of the IC engine. Here this is the inside the engine cylinder. Here the combustion of the fuel is taking place. That's why inside the engine cylinder the combustion is taking place. That's why it's called as a internal combustion engine. This is the definition of the internal combustion engine. Then now we will go for the classification of IC engines. There are concerned to the various parameters. These are classified into different types. The first one will take according to the type of fuel used. The what type of fuel we will use, based on that classification we will take. First one, petrol engines. The petrol fuel is used. Next, diesel engines. The diesel is used as a fuel. Gas engines. Gas is used as a fuel like CNG and LPG. Biofuel engines. In order to have some benefits in certain lower temperature regions or in order to improve the efficiency of the engine, the two fuel combinations are used in the internal combustion engine. Those are called as biofuel engines. Next type are according to the number of strokes per cycle. That's a 4-stroke engine, 2-stroke engine. Okay, here the 4 strokes are there, here the 2 strokes are there. What is meant by stroke we will discuss while discussing the terminology. Third type is according to the method of ignition. That is, first one is a spark ignition, SI engine. Here the combustion, starting of the combustion of the fuel, that is started by the spark produced by the spark plug. That is the spark ignition engine. And this is carburation ignition engine means here in this one air is compressed to a higher pressure and temperature, and due to the temperature of the air only, the fuel whatever injected into that one, that is the compression ignition engine. Then the spark ignition engine, the petrol engines are spark ignition engine, compression ignition engine are the diesel engines. The next type are according to the cycle of combustion. Based on what cycle of the combustion is taking place. Otto cycle engine is for the petrol engines, a diesel cycle engine, that is for the diesel engine, dual combustion engine. Okay, here the both at constant volume and the constant pressure the combustion is taking place. That is a dual combustion engine cycle. And in the Otto cycle, at constant volume combustion is taking place. In the diesel cycle engine, at constant pressure the volume combustion is taking place. Fifth one, according to the number of cylinders. How many cylinders are used? Okay, based on that we can classify as single cylinder engine, multi-cylinder engine. For the lower capacity vehicles, single cylinder engines are used like the 2-wheeler engines. Multi-cylinder engines, all the 4-wheeler engines where the power required is more, the multi-cylinder engines are used. Up to here the 2 to up to 10-12 engines cylinders also used in the multi-cylinder engines. Then according to the arrangement of cylinders, how those cylinders are arranged. The vertical engine, the engine is vertical. Horizontal engine, the engine is horizontal. Inline engine, both engines are inline, the two engines. Radial engines, the multi-cylinder engines are arranged radially, and V engine, in the V shape the engines are arranged. The next one, according to the method of cooling. Here during the combustion, whatever the heat is released, that is conducted through the cylinder walls and the cylinder head, and that cylinder head as well as the cylinder wall is to be cooled in order to reduce the whatever the damage to the engine as a, also in order to have the better performance, that's why it should be cooled. And there are two methods of cooling. There is a air cooled engine and water cooled engine. In this one, air whatever is there directly it is flows over the engine, thereby the cooling is taking place. Water cooled engine, in this one water is circulated through the cylinder head and the cylinder wall, and thereby the cooling of the engine is taking place. This is about the classification of the IC engines. Next we will go for the IC engine terminology. IC engine terminology, in this we will take first what are the different parts of the IC engines are there, the terminology we will discuss. In this one, this is the engine cylinder, this is cylinder wall and cylinder head, this one, and this is the piston rings are used here. Then these two are this is the inlet valve and this is exhaust valve, and this is spark plug or a fuel injector. The spark plug is used for the petrol engine, fuel injector is used for the diesel engine. And here this is the connecting rod, and this is the crank, and this is crankshaft. And here there is some terminology we are going to discuss are, first one is top dead center. The top dead center is the extreme position of the piston towards the cylinder head is called as a top dead center. Bottom dead center, it is the extreme position of the piston towards the crank end, it is called as a bottom dead center. Then bore, it is the internal diameter of the engine cylinder is called as a bore. Then next, stroke, the stroke is the distance travelled by the piston from one end to the other end. This is the stroke, and that stroke is called as the stroke length also. And this is swept volume. The swept volume means the volume whatever is there during the travel of the piston. Okay, this is the volume whatever for this stroke length, whatever the volume of the gas is there, that is called as a swept volume. The clearance volume, it is the volume which will be remains at the top when the piston is at the top dead center. That is the clearance volume. This is the clearance volume. And this swept volume and clearance volume, what are there? These we are going to use to calculate the compression ratio. The compression ratio is the ratio of the total volume to the clearance volume. The total volume will be the sum of swept volume and clearance volume to the clearance volume we are going to take. Okay, this is about the some terminology, and some other terminology concerned to the performance of the engine are there. Those are the power, those are power concerned to that one. The efficiency, that is the brake power, indicated thermal efficiency, brake thermal efficiency, compression ratio, the power. These are to be taken some other performance parameter. These parameters I am going to discuss in the next class. Thank you for watching. Subscribe my channel for further videos. Thank you.